Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Stories and Podcasts. I'm happy you're here with me again. Today I want to share a story about something simple, something calm, a rainy afternoon at home. It started just after lunch. The morning had been bright, but as the hours passed, the sky slowly turned gray. I was sitting by my window with a cup of warm tea when I heard the first drops of rain hit the roof. It wasn't a storm, just a soft, steady rain, the kind that makes everything quiet. The sound of rain has always made me feel peaceful. It's like the world is taking a deep breath, slowing down for a while. I put my phone aside, closed my laptop, and decided to do nothing. Just sit, listen, and watch the rain. Outside, the street looked different. The sky was dark, and the air had that clean, wet smell that only rain can bring. The little puddles began to form along the road, and the trees bent gently in the wind. A few people hurried by with umbrellas, their shoes splashing on the wet pavement. Everything felt slower, softer, quieter. I rested my elbows on the windowsill and just watched. The neighbor's cat ran across the street and hid under a parked car. A woman was pulling her laundry in before it got soaked. The sound of raindrops hitting the tin roofs made a kind of soft music that filled the whole neighborhood. It felt like the afternoon had paused. There's something special about days like this, when the world outside feels calm and the world inside feels even warmer. I could smell the tea beside me, its steam rising slowly into the cool air. Somewhere in the distance, I heard a child laughing, maybe splashing in the rain, despite his mother's voice calling him inside. It made me smile. Sometimes the sound of joy travels even better in the rain. I picked up a book that had been sitting on my table for weeks. It was an old novel I'd started but never finished. The paper felt cool to the touch, and the sound of pages turning mixed perfectly with the rain outside. For a while I lost track of time. The words, the rain, the quiet, they all blended together. But soon I stopped reading. I just looked out again, watching how the raindrops gathered on the glass. They slid down slowly, one after another, leaving small trails behind. Some joined together and became bigger drops, while others disappeared halfway. I don't know why, but I could watch that for hours. In moments like that, I feel a different kind of silence. Not empty, but full. It's the silence that lets you think clearly, that makes you notice the little things you often miss. Like the sound of your own breathing, or the rhythm of rain on the roof. It's a quiet reminder that even simple moments can be beautiful. After a while, I went to the kitchen. The smell of rain always makes me crave something warm. I opened the fridge, found some leftover soup from the morning, and heated it up on the stove. The sound of the boiling soup mixed with the sound of rain outside was comforting, the kind of small comfort that makes you feel safe. As I ate, I watched the rain from the kitchen window. The street was almost empty now. A few motorbikes passed by, their lights reflecting on the wet road. Everything shimmered like glass. Even though it was just a simple view, it felt strangely beautiful, as if the rain had cleaned not just the streets but my thoughts too. After finishing my meal, I carried my cup of tea to the living room and sat on the sofa near the big window. The sound of rain had grown stronger now, but it was steady, not harsh. It was the kind of sound that makes you want to curl up under a blanket, so I did. I pulled a soft gray blanket around my shoulders and watched as the raindrops kept falling endlessly. Across the street, I saw the old man who runs the bicycle shop. He had pulled the metal shutter halfway down, but he wasn't closing yet. He stood there, watching the rain, hands in his pockets, a small smile on his face. I wondered what he was thinking about. Maybe nothing, maybe everything. Sometimes you don't need to think much when it rains. You just feel. A little while later, the fruit seller came running with a plastic cover, trying to protect her baskets from getting soaked. She laughed loudly when the wind blew water on her face. Even through the glass, I could hear that laugh, bright and honest. It made the street come alive again for a moment. The rain kept falling. I thought about all the times I'd seen this street under different weather. Bright mornings, hot afternoons, quiet nights. But rainy days were always my favorite. They made everything look softer and somehow more real. Maybe because rain washes away the noise and leaves only what truly matters: the sound, the feeling, the moment. As the afternoon went on, the sky grew darker, and I turned on a small lamp beside me. Its warm light made the room glow softly. I could still hear the rain tapping against the glass. I took another sip of tea. It was almost cold now, but it didn't matter. I just wanted to stay there, listening, breathing, being still. After a while, the rain began to slow. The sound grew lighter, as if the sky was running out of things to say. I opened the window a little. Cool air came rushing in, carrying the smell of wet earth and leaves. It was refreshing. I took a deep breath and smiled. The clouds began to break apart, and a faint light appeared behind them. The puddles on the street reflected that light, shimmering like mirrors. Children came outside again, one holding a red plastic ball, another carrying a paper boat. They ran to the puddles, laughing as their shoes splashed water everywhere. Their joy filled the whole street with energy again. It was like watching life restart after a long pause. The fruit seller reopened her stall, the bicycle man lifted his shutter again, and a woman began sweeping the sidewalk in front of her house. The world was moving again. The street looked clean and new. Even the air felt lighter, as if the rain had washed away the weight of the day. I leaned against the window frame and just watched. The sky was still cloudy, but a single line of sunlight broke through and touched the wet pavement. It sparkled like gold for a few seconds before fading. That short moment felt perfect, a quiet gift from the day. Soon the evening light began to fade. I closed the window, turned on the small lamp again, and sat back down with my book. The pages were still open where I had left them earlier. The sound of the city returned, a motorbike passing, a dog barking, a distant radio playing music. Everything felt ordinary again, but also calmer, softer, kinder. I took another deep breath, and I realized something. It wasn't just the rain that made me feel peaceful. It was the chance to stop, to listen, to breathe, to notice things I usually rush past. The rain simply gave me permission to slow down. Outside, the streetlights began to glow. Drops of water still clung to the trees, catching the light and shining like tiny stars. A cool wind came through the small cracks in the window, and I pulled the blanket closer. The day was ending, but it didn't feel like something was over. It felt like something gentle had begun. Thank you for spending this rainy afternoon with me. I hope wherever you are, you find a moment to slow down, to listen to the world, and to enjoy the quiet sounds around you. Sometimes peace doesn't come from silence, it comes from the rain. See you again next time for another warm and gentle story here on Daily English Stories and Podcasts.